The American South is a land steeped in history, where the echoes of the past seem to linger in the heavy air, and where ghost stories have long been woven into the very fabric of its culture. Here, the tradition of storytelling blends history, folklore, and the supernatural to create a haunting atmosphere that has captivated generations. It is this rich tradition that invites us to explore 12 terrifying tales, each one a window into the mysterious and often chilling world of Southern ghosts. Our journey begins deep in Louisiana, at the Myrtles Plantation, often hailed as one of America's most haunted homes. Nestled among moss-draped oak trees and shadowy bayous, the plantation exudes a timeless, eerie beauty. The air is thick with humidity and secrets, and every creak of the old wooden floors seems to whisper forgotten stories from centuries past. The legend that defines the Myrtles Plantation centers on Chloe, a former slave whose restless spirit is said to roam the grounds. Chloe's story is one of tragedy and vengeance, wrapped in the dark history of slavery and betrayal. According to the tale, Chloe was a slave owned by the Woodruff family, who lived in the Grand Plantation House. She was said to have been a gifted herbalist, but her life took a turn after a series of events that led to her being punished and ultimately dying under mysterious circumstances. Many versions of the story exist, but one common thread is Chloe's supposed act of poisoning her master's family. Some say she was driven by jealousy or revenge, while others suggest she was framed. Whatever the truth, Chloe's spirit is believed to linger as a restless ghost, her presence marked by unexplained phenomena that have been reported by visitors and residents alike. Guests to the Myrtles Plantation often share eerie experiences, sudden cold spots in the humid air, flickering lights, and shadowy figures glimpsed in peripheral vision. Some claim to have heard soft footsteps in empty hallways or the faint strains of music drifting through the night. These haunting details enrich the plantation's mystique, transforming it from a mere historical site into a living testament to the supernatural. Beyond the plantation house itself, the surrounding landscape contributes to the haunting ambience. The towering oak trees, draped with Spanish moss that sways in the slightest breeze, cast long, shifting shadows that seem to animate the night. The nearby bayou, with its still, dark waters and thick fog that rolls in after sunset, adds a layer of mystery and danger. It's easy to imagine spirits gliding silently just beneath the surface or wandering the tangled underbrush. This blending of natural beauty and eerie stillness is a hallmark of Southern ghost stories. The environment is never just a backdrop. It is an active participant in the storytelling, shaping the mood and deepening the sense of unease. In the South, the land itself seems alive with memories and secrets, a place where the past and present coexist in a thin veil between worlds. The Myrtles Plantation is not the only location where this haunting atmosphere thrives. Across the South, moss-covered trees, creaky old homes, and shadowy swamps form the perfect setting for tales of spirits and the supernatural. These stories have been passed down orally for generations, each retelling adding layers of detail and fear. What makes these stories particularly compelling is their connection to real history. The ghosts of the South are not just figments of imagination. They are often tied to specific events, families, and places. This historical grounding lends an authenticity that resonates deeply with those who live in or visit the region. The plantation stories, in particular, remind us of the complicated and often painful history of the South. They confront us with the realities of slavery, loss, and betrayal, but they also reveal how those who have passed on remain part of the living world through memory and myth. Chloe's restless spirit is emblematic of this. She is both a symbol of suffering and a supernatural presence that refuses to be forgotten. Walking the grounds of the Myrtles Plantation, one can almost feel the weight of these stories pressing down, as if the past is reaching through time. The creaking of the porch swings, the whispering of the wind through the trees, and the distant hoot of an owl all contribute to an atmosphere where the veil between the living and the dead feels dangerously thin. Each creak and shadow invites speculation. Is it a trick of the mind? Or is Chloe truly still here, watching, waiting? Visitors often leave with more questions than answers, their imaginations fueled by the palpable sense of the unknown that lingers in the air. This haunting ambience is not confined to Myrtles alone. It pervades the entire region, from the grand plantations along the Mississippi River to the small, forgotten towns hidden among the pines. The South's ghost stories are as varied as its landscapes, but they all share this common thread of blending history with the supernatural. In these stories, the environment itself becomes a character. The moss-draped oaks are not just trees, but silent witnesses to centuries of human drama. The creaky floors and peeling paint of old homes whisper secrets of lives once lived and lost. The sprawling bayous and dense forests conceal more than just wildlife. They harbor the restless spirits of the past. As the sun sets and darkness spreads over the landscape, the South's haunted places come alive in a different way. The shadows lengthen, and the air grows cooler, carrying with it the faintest hint of something unseen. For those willing to listen, the tales of ghosts and spirits become more than just stories. They become an invitation to step into a world where history and the supernatural intertwine. This is the essence of Southern ghost stories, a place where the past is never truly gone, where the land remembers all, and where the haunting atmosphere is as thick as the humid night air. The Myrtles Plantation, with its tragic Chloe and its eerie surroundings, stands as a powerful symbol of this tradition, drawing us into a world where the ordinary and the otherworldly meet in the shadows. Our exploration has just begun, and the ghosts of the South are waiting to share their stories, each one a thread in the rich tapestry of folklore that defines this region. As we continue, we will uncover more tales that reveal the complex relationship between history, memory, and the supernatural in the American South. The mystique of the Southern ghost story deepens as we turn from haunted plantations to the enigmatic world of voodoo and restless spirits, where spiritual power and supernatural terror mingle in a complex dance. In the heart of New Orleans, the legacy of Marie Laveau, the legendary voodoo queen, casts a long shadow that continues to inspire fascination and fear centuries after her death. Marie Laveau was much more than a figure of myth. She was a real woman who lived in the 19th century, renowned for her spiritual gifts, healing abilities, and influence over both the living and the dead. Her reputation as a powerful voodoo priestess was intertwined with stories of curses, blessings, and mysterious rituals conducted in the city's shadowy alleys and hidden courtyards. The power attributed to Marie Laveau was not simply superstition. She was a respected community leader who provided solace and guidance in a time when many faced oppression and uncertainty. Yet, alongside her benevolence, there grew a darker legend, the idea that she could summon spirits, cast curses on enemies, and manipulate the unseen forces that govern life and death. Visitors to New Orleans still seek out the site believed to be her tomb in St. Louis Cemetery No. 1, where offerings of coins, hair ties, and small tokens are left in hopes of gaining her favor or protection. Those who dare to call upon Marie Laveau's spirit often speak of strange occurrences, whispers in the wind, flickering shadows, or an inexplicable chill in the air, suggesting her presence still lingers. This blend of reverence and fear surrounding Marie Laveau epitomizes the complex relationship the South holds with voodoo. It is a spiritual tradition rich with symbolism and ritual, yet often misunderstood and sensationalized. The stories of Marie Laveau serve as a reminder that in the South, the line between religion, magic, and the supernatural is often blurred, creating fertile ground for ghostly tales and eerie encounters. From the mystical streets of New Orleans, our journey takes us northward to Tennessee, where the legend of the Bell Witch haunting has become one of the most infamous poltergeist stories in American folklore. The Bell family's ordeal in the early 19th century reads like a chilling chapter from a horror novel, filled with unexplained noises, physical attacks, and sinister voices that terrorized an entire household. John Bell and his family were said to be tormented by an unseen entity that targeted them relentlessly. Reports describe the witch as capable of producing loud knocking sounds, moving objects without touch, and even striking family members, leaving bruises and scratches. The haunting escalated to the point where it attracted the attention of neighbors and visitors, including prominent figures of the time. What makes the Bell Witch tale particularly compelling is the detailed documentation and first-hand accounts that have survived. Unlike many ghost stories that rely on vague hearsay, the Bell family's experiences were recorded by witnesses and chronicled in newspapers and journals, lending an unsettling credibility to the legend. The identity and motives of the Bell Witch remain a mystery. Some say she was the restless spirit of a woman wronged by the family. Others believe she was a manifestation of dark magic or a curse. The witch reportedly communicated through eerie voices, sometimes speaking directly to family members and revealing knowledge of private matters no one else could have known. The haunting persisted for years, with the Bell Witch displaying an intelligence and malice that set her apart from typical ghost stories. She was said to have predicted events, including John Bell's eventual death, which only deepened the fear and fascination surrounding her. The Bell Witch legend has since become a cornerstone of Southern folklore, inspiring books, films, and countless retellings. It exemplifies how ghost stories in the South often intertwine with real history and documented events, creating a narrative that blurs the line between fact and the supernatural. Together, the tales of Marie Laveau and the Bell Witch reveal two distinct yet interconnected facets of Southern ghost stories, the spiritual and the spectral. Marie Laveau's legacy speaks to the power of ritual, belief, and the unseen forces that shape human experience, while the Bell Witch haunting confronts us with a malevolent presence that defies explanation and challenges our understanding of the natural world. Both stories highlight the South's unique cultural landscape, where African, European, and Native American traditions meld to create a rich tapestry of folklore. They remind us that ghost stories here are not just about scares. They are about power, memory, and the enduring influence of the past on the present. In the humid streets of New Orleans, under the heavy canopy of ancient oaks, and in the quiet Tennessee countryside where the Bell family once lived in fear, these stories continue to be told, passed from one generation to the next. They capture the imagination and stir the soul, inviting us to consider what lies beyond the veil of the ordinary. As night falls and the world grows still, the spirits of Marie Laveau and the Bell Witch seem to come alive once more, whispering their secrets to those brave enough to listen. Their stories serve as a bridge between the living and the dead, a testament to the South's enduring fascination with the supernatural and its power to haunt both body and mind. This journey into voodoo spirits and poltergeist hauntings opens a new chapter in our exploration of Southern ghost tales, setting the stage for the stories yet to come. The shadows lengthen, the air grows colder, and the unseen forces that shape these legends continue to stir, reminding us that in the South, the past is never truly gone. The Southern landscape is etched not only with the tales of voodoo queens and poltergeists, but also with the restless spirits of history's most turbulent moments. Among these, the ghostly apparitions of Civil War soldiers stand out, their spectral presence a haunting reminder of a conflict that shaped the nation and left scars on the very soil of Virginia and Georgia. On many battlefields scattered across the South, visitors and locals alike have reported sightings of phantom soldiers, figures clad in tattered uniforms, their faces obscured by the haze of time, marching silently through the mist. These apparitions often appear at dawn or dusk, their ghostly forms flickering in and out of view, as if caught between the realms of the living and the dead. Accounts describe hearing the distant sounds of cannon fire, the clang of swords, and the murmur of commands carried by an unseen wind. Some witnesses have reported sudden drops in temperature, a coldness that seems to emanate from the very ground, and an overwhelming sense of sorrow and loss. These ethereal soldiers are believed to be the souls of those who perished in battle, unable to rest until their stories are told and their sacrifices remembered. The Civil War's legacy is deeply ingrained in Southern culture, and these ghostly sightings serve as a poignant connection to a past filled with valor and tragedy. The soldiers' spirits are said to reenact moments from the war, endlessly trapped in a cycle of conflict, a spectral reminder that some wounds linger beyond the grave. Alongside these martial ghosts, Southern folklore is rich with tales of the White Lady, a spectral figure who haunts bridges, crossroads, and lonely stretches of road. The White Lady is a common motif in ghost stories worldwide, but in the South, She takes on a distinct character shaped by local history and culture. Typically described as a woman dressed in flowing white, her face pale and eyes often filled with sorrow or anger, the White Lady is said to appear suddenly, sometimes asking for help or leading travelers astray. Her origins vary from tale to tale. Some say she is the ghost of a woman who died tragically, perhaps in childbirth, murder, or heartbreak. Others believe she is a protective spirit, warning those who venture too close to danger. One widely told story involves a white lady haunting a bridge in Georgia. According to legend, she was a young woman who lost her fiancé in the Civil War and died waiting for his return. Her ghost reportedly appears to drivers late at night, sometimes hitching a ride before vanishing without a trace. Other versions describe her as a harbinger of doom, appearing before accidents or misfortunes. The White Lady's presence in Southern ghost stories underscores the region's fascination with themes of love, loss, and unfinished business. She embodies the emotional weight carried by many spirits in these tales, a yearning for closure and the pain of separation, made all the more poignant against the backdrop of the South's turbulent history. These ghostly figures, the spectral soldiers and the mournful White Lady, are more than mere folklore. They are living parts of the South's cultural heritage. Their stories are preserved and retold through oral tradition, guided tours of battlefields and haunted sites, and countless books and media portrayals that keep their legends alive in the public imagination. The intertwining of history and the supernatural in these tales speaks to the South's unique relationship with its past. The ghosts are not just remnants of horror stories, but are deeply connected to the collective memory of communities, a way of honoring those who came before while confronting the region's complex legacy. In towns and cities across the South, these legends have become focal points for tourism and cultural expression. Visitors flock to sites where the veil between worlds is said to be thin, eager to glimpse a ghostly soldier marching through the fog or to hear the whispered lament of the White Lady on a lonely road. Ghost tours, reenactments, and storytelling events celebrate this rich tradition, inviting people to engage with history in a visceral and emotional way. The persistence of these stories also highlights the power of oral history in the South. Passed down from generation to generation, these ghost tales serve as a bridge linking the past with the present. They keep alive the voices of those who might otherwise be forgotten, ensuring that their experiences continue to resonate. Moreover, these legends remind us that the supernatural in the South is not merely about fear or the macabre. It is about connection, to place, to history, and to the enduring human spirit. The ghosts of Civil War soldiers and the enigmatic White Lady are symbols of the struggles and sorrows that have shaped the South, embodying a collective consciousness that refuses to be silenced. As the night deepens and shadows gather, these spirits seem to stir once more, their stories echoing through the trees, across old battlefields, and over quiet bridges. They invite us to listen, to remember, and to reflect on the intricate tapestry of history and myth that defines the American South. Through these tales, the South reveals itself as a land where the past is never truly past, where the living and the dead coexist in a delicate balance. The ghost stories we have explored, from voodoo spirits and poltergeists to Civil War apparitions and sorrowful specters, paint a vivid picture of a region where history and the supernatural are inseparably entwined. In this twilight realm, every moss-draped tree and creaking floorboard holds a story. Every whisper on the wind carries a secret. The South's haunted past continues to captivate, reminding us that some ghosts never rest, and some stories are meant to be told again and again.